Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pacers Daily. I am your host, Hery Acosta. Pacers won a game. We did it. We won a game. Let's hop straight into it. Just talk about some bright spots, and we're going to start out with the absolute bright spot, Bennedict Mathurin. Now, a game where he had 24 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, 7 of 13 shooting, 8 of 9 from the free throw line, 2 of 5 from 3. This is exactly what we were looking for. Mathurin is showing that he deserves that big contract. He's showing that he needs to stay on this team. He's showing that he wants to be a starter moving forward. And I'm on the Mathurin start train. I think he needs to be a full-time starter. Now it's gonna be a little confusing once we get everyone back because Halliburton's gonna be back, Neesmith's gonna be back, and we're just gonna have to play around a little bit with the lineup just because Mathurin would have to move to the three, Nemhard probably is the two, because we're not going to bench Nemhard. Neesmith might start coming off the bench, or we might kind of flip flop between Neesmith and Mathurin moving forward. But as of right now, there's no more deserving starter than Mathurin. He's just ever since the season started, when he's healthy, he's the best player on the court. Between him and Siakam, it is a crazy good two-man game right now that we desperately needed back from injury. So I'm very glad that that's back. Very glad that he's here. And I just loved the way he played last night. Couldn't have asked for anything better. And then there's a lot to kind of look into this game. Now, we held LaMelo Ball to 18 points. He was 5 for 21 from the field. We held Bridges to 25. Bridges has been their best scorer this year. He was 9 of 20. Now, Knuppel off the bench, very good, very good. Not off the bench, sorry, but rookie, great performance. 28 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 11 of 20 from the field, made 5 threes. So they had some really good performances. Connaughton off the bench at 13 points. Diabete had 12 rebounds. We know he's one of the best rebounders off the bench in the league. But, just preventing big games from a player like LaMelo Ball, also holding their starting point guard to 1 point. We really couldn't have played better if we tried. Now in the fourth quarter, we kind of backed up a little bit, which is fine. We had the game in hand, but still a little bit, you know, still a little bit more we can do in the fourth quarter just to make sure we close out the games the way we want. But big game from Shepherd, big game from Siakam, big game from Nemhard, 16 and 7 from Nemhard. Shepherd had 15 points, kind of finally getting back into that rhythm. And then just to continue talking about some of these, 54% shooting, 42% from three. I spelled shooting wrong. I'm so sorry. But just some big performances. 9 of 17 from Siakam, 5 of 10 from Shepherd, 6 of 15 from Nemhard, which is the lowest shooting of anybody, and that's still not even horrible. 7 of 13 from both Mathurin and Huff, 3 of 6 from Walker, all 3 shots being 3-pointers. And 6 of 6 from McConnell, so a perfect game from McConnell off the bench. 14, 6, and 8. I kind of wanted to talk about him a little bit more on the sidebar, and I'm going to. Ever since he came back from injury, we got that spark back off the bench. Now, obviously, we've struggled because we didn't have a full kind of lineup of what we needed. And at the end of the day, this is the Charlotte Hornets, so it's not the best team, but they are a young and power hungry team that could really do a lot of damage if given the chance. So this is actually a very big win for the Pacers just because any team from now on is going to be a big game. If we want to even have a shot at the playoff, we need to just continue playing the way we played yesterday and just try to figure out how we can even get all that. But, just some very big games all around. Everyone put in their best work. Some interesting stats. We had 8 blocks. We had seven combined blocks from our centers, meaning Jackson had 4, Huff had 3. That's what we want. We want centers who can defend the paint. We want centers who can defend just all around. If it goes into the paint, one of them has to be there. A few downsides. Not Mather, but Nemhard did have 6 turnovers. Now, I'm not too mad about it because he still had more assists and turnovers, but just kind of control the ball a little bit more just because turnovers have been one of our bigger issues this year. But We did have a few more turnovers than they did with 16 of their 13, but we also did have 32 assists to their 28. They out rebounded us, but at the end of the day, we played our game. We made our shots. They had more points off turnovers. We had more fast break, but just the big number really is just the fact that they shot 40% and they made less shots than we did because they actually shot 22 more shots than we did because there were 22 opposite rebounds. So that is something that we definitely need to touch up on for the future is not letting other teams grab that many offensive boards. Now, yeah, they do have some really good rebounders. LaMelo is one of the best rebounding point guards in the league. Diabete off the bench is a great rebounder. Cal Brenner is a great rebounder as well. So is Knuckles, so is Bridges. So just kind of preventing stuff like that. And then last but not least, I want to talk about the man himself. What a stat line from Jay Huff off the bench. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 blocks. Jay Huff is someone who hasn't really kicked off too much this season. He's currently only averaging 6 points and 3 rebounds, but he is averaging 2 blocks, and most of that is off the bench. But this has been his best game this season. He had that 16-point outing in Brooklyn. He had that 12 and 11 game in Golden State. But just a game when he was an all around threat between scoring, shooting threes. He made 4, and that's really all we need from a player like Huff. He could easily be a starter, but I'm good with Jackson starting, so we can get that thing off the bench. We need McConnell and Huff to play together. I kind of like their little dynamic, so hoping that stays like that. But like always, I'm so happy we won a game. Very happy watching that game last night. But as always, I'm your host, Eddie Acosta. This is Pacers Daily. Boom, baby. And go Spurs.